fam? Welcome back to First Callouts. My name is Ryan Milton. I'm with TeamFFLEX, and every single Wednesday I'm coming to you live right here to give you the exact tools, the tips, the strategies, stuff you need to know to get yourself into that iconic first callout. This show is dedicated for competitors. I'll cover all sorts of divisions, and literally I'm going to help you get that first call out because of the stuff I'm going to tell you on the show today. So please do me a favor. If you compete, you know someone that competes, share the video if you get anything out of this, all right? It's super valuable, super helpful, And please make sure you subscribe to the channel because this is just one of the kick-ass series that I run all week. And every single Wednesday I'll be right back here for first call out, all right? So let's dig into the topic of today. Today what I want to talk about is the number one mistake competitors are making these days, all right? And this, you can say, what? How could you even narrow this down to one single mistake, Coach Ryan, when there is literally so many mistakes being made? Yes, there is. But I'll tell you what the number one is, and it's because of the introduction of social media. Alright, so is social media coming into bodybuilding? It's a whole new thing, right? In reality, I mean, social media has been around for most of my lifetime. You know, I was around when MySpace started up. I was getting on there with my band at the time, and, you know, we put our stuff up, and then I remember Facebook, then it was Instagram, etc. As I was growing up, you know, as a teenager. But before that, if we think about where the sport of bodybuilding started, it started in a very, very different spot. And so now it's, you know, heavily influencing bodybuilding in general, and I'm talking to all divisions. When I say bodybuilding, I'm talking about you bikini girls, you wellness competitors, you figure girls, any of these divisions, everything's bodybuilding to me. So when I say that, don't think I'm just referring to the actual bodybuilding class of male athletes. I'm talking about everybody. You know, social media now has a hard influence on bodybuilding in general. And that's also what brings about the number one mistake. The number one mistake athletes make these days, straight up, is they compare themselves to pictures they see on the damn internet. Okay? And now you might say, oh, Ryan, whatever, dude. That's what we're supposed to do. We're competitors. We should be comparing ourselves because we're going to get compared on stage. Yes, in some cases you are correct. But in most cases of what you're seeing on the internet, it is not actually accurate to what's going to bring you on show day, okay? So I did an interview with Sandy Williamson, you know, just a few months back. I do seminars with her across the country. I'm a part of all of their, a lot of the shows she does. In other words, you know, Spectrum Fitness Productions, great production company. She's head judging all of them, and I'm there, you know, as their title sponsor. And so I get to be around her all the time, okay? And I've also talked to some of the other top judges about this kind of stuff, and everybody agrees, okay? Everybody agrees that getting photo ready is a big mistake because the camera, little does anybody know this, right? But the camera actually makes you appear bigger, leaner, and overall just better than you actually are on show day. So like when you look at stage shots online, all you out there that are comparing, you want to see what the first callouts look like, you want to see what the stage shots look like, or maybe you're following some competitors that post their stage shots, what you're actually seeing is a better version of what they actually brought on show day because the camera will trick out and do all these different things to your mind when you see the image.
What is a common mistake you see competitors make? Bikini competitors.
Getting ready by that photo?
Yeah, photo ready.
I really do.
That's probably the most relevant thing right now,
I think right now it is because social media is such a big driver. They see maybe somebody that they've been following or something and they just, oh, they look bigger on social media. They look tighter. So now I've got to get a little bit bigger. I've got to get a little bit tighter. And it's like, no. It's hard sometimes. I think this is where good coaches come in because they're the ones that can keep you grounded and say, no. That's, when you get on stage, that's not what they look like on stage. That's not what you want to look like because that's not what the organization
That's not what they're looking for.
Yes.
Right? So you saw Sandy just said it herself. And in reality, this is a huge issue, okay? I know this for a fact because I've been to literally hundreds and hundreds of shows. In 2019 alone, I did weeks of stints where I was on the road for 8, 10, 12 weeks straight at different competitions. And so I got the benefit of actually seeing this in action, I hear it from Sandy and I hear it from the other top level judges, and then I'm looking at it live. I'm seeing, okay, look at these people on stage, even some athletes that I coach. I'm like looking at them right here, and then I'm seeing their stage shots, and I'm like, whoa, that's a whole different look. That's not what was there on show day. I'm trying to sit right behind where the judges are sitting, like in the front row where the sponsors get to sit, and I'm looking, and I'm basically getting the same, visual that the judges are getting so I can see what's going on, and then you see the picture, and it does look insanely different, okay? And it is a problem. It's a problem that people do this because right now, Instagram, if you're competing, you're on Instagram competing with everybody you see on Instagram more than you actually are on stage. If we think about where bodybuilding came about, right? It's very different. Like golden era bodybuilding, the old school model of bodybuilding, like where it really became popular in the Arnold era, where Arnold was running around all these guides down at Gold's Gym Venice and stuff. And that was kind of when bodybuilding really took the scene. Before that, it was more of a taboo thing. It was weird to be a bodybuilder. It was, bodybuilding originated as a circus act almost, being, actually fit, and you were a strongman at that time and all that. It was not a normal thing. But then, obviously in the golden era bodybuilding where it really caught on, the crazy thing was you didn't know what any of these people looked like you were competing against. You had zero idea what they actually looked like, right? Like you were like, okay, I'm going to prep for the show. I'm going to do it in 16 weeks, and I don't know a damn thing. I don't know who's coming. I don't know what they look like. I don't know what they're going to look like. I don't know anything until show day. And so bodybuilding back then was, in reality, a lot more just you battling yourself every day, which is how it should be, right? These bodybuilders would wake up and they would look at themselves and they'd be like, okay, what do I need to work on? What's this need to look like? Okay, my abs are looking like this, shoulders like this, leg like that. What do I need to be doing here to bring my best to the stage? What do I need to do to bring my best? Not looking at some dude or some chick on Instagram and being like, wow, well, that person looks like this. They got bigger shoulders. They got this leg cut. I need to bring those in, otherwise I'm not going to place. So you see how the mentality of this became entirely different now. In the current day and age, this is a massive problem, okay? Because if you're looking at stage shots, you already know right out the gate, those are going to make you appear bigger, they're going to make you appear leaner, and it's not actually what the judge is going to want to see, right? For example, when I've talked to Sandy, she says people are getting photo ready, right? The bikini girls specifically, and for the idea of that class, what they do is they look at their favorite pros, they look at the stage shots, they look at all the calls, they do whatever, and they appear bigger, they appear leaner, they appear overall better than they actually were on show day or what the judges saw, right? And so what happens is they try to get ready, looking based on that photo, getting photo ready in other words, and now they're coming in the show and they're too much overdone. They're not actually fit in the category, they're not actually fit in the criteria of their division, they're too lean, they're too muscular, and now they're getting that last call out instead of that first call out. Because in reality, what you see on show day, what you see live is what matters. What the judges see on the stage in that moment is literally what's going to dictate your placing. So in reality, if you're trying to get ready for a photo, you're kind of wasting your time. If you're trying to compare to someone on Instagram, you're kind of wasting your time. This is where I say it's super valuable to have a coach. Because, a coach that knows the criteria, somebody that can tell you what the division wants to see, what the judges are going to want to see, can get you ready, despite what the damn photos on Instagram say. So make sure you got yourself a coach. If you want to try out my coaching for free at TeamFFLEX.com, just subscribe to our email and you can try it for free. Super value, super awesome. I hope you do that. Regardless, don't be getting photo ready, fam. That's only one of these two issues, right? Because photo ready for stage shots is one thing. Here's what everybody else does with the social media. This is also roped in, I don't even know, you could say this is the top 2 most common mistakes competitors make, or we can just narrow it down to the same thing. But it's basically athletes comparing themselves to any photo they find on Instagram. Nowadays, what competitors do, right? Going back to my reference of in the, the 70s and 80s, the golden era of bodybuilding, where none of this was possible. Guys that were competing, girls that were competing, didn't even know what the hell they were going to be competing against. Like, they didn't know till show day. Well, now here's what all competitors do. This is a big, huge mistake. Competitors, don't do this. Do not do this. Competitors are going to go and basically get on the internet. They know what show they're doing, right? Let's say they chose to do the Sacramento Championships or something. And they go, okay, Sac Championships, hashtag. And they go look and see who's been hashtagging Sacramento Championships. Because anyone who's going to do this now, right? A lot of people for some reason do this thing where they hashtag every show they're going to do and all this, and now all the competitors are in there. And so now you're in there and you're looking for people that you could be competing against. You go in and you're like, oh, this girl, I'm a bikini competitor. She looks like a bikini competitor. Click. Oh my God, well look at this. Oh no, her abs are way leaner than mine. Oh, her glutes are way more developed than mine. Oh, her shoulders, I don't know. The prep's over. Prep's over when you did that. You've mentally defeated yourself. You already gave yourself last place before you even showed up and got judged. Because the mentality of your prep is everything. And if you lose that, it's game over. It's literally going to be game over, fam. If you can't keep that mentality right, you can't keep that in your head right, you're going to have a huge problem getting your best physique. You're going to have a huge problem showing up. So, that is a big issue. And let's not forget, all the things on Instagram are filtered. All of them are angled. All of them could be photoshopped. This is stuff that happens all the time, right? You never know what people are doing. I've seen some stuff that some photographers can do that's insane. You wouldn't even know that it's been done, but it's insane, the edits they can do. Even these days with a lot of the apps and stuff you can download, people can make crazy edits to their own photos with zero photo editing experience and get a crazy different result. Not to mention, you can angle yourselves, right? Everybody who's ever taken a damn shirtless selfie, you guys out there, or you girls posting your whatever transformations, you guys know that you can angle the shit out of that and make it look a whole lot different, right? And then you can stand straight on and it wouldn't look that way, right? Am I right? You know I'm right, because that's exactly what it is. But like from a perspective of us taking those pictures, putting them on the internet, we remember that, but when we see other people doing it, we seem to forget. We seem to forget the fact that, hey, you know what? Maybe that could be filtered. Maybe that could be angled. God forbid somebody use Photoshop. Some of the biggest fitness pros in the game, like these influencers, these massive people, have gotten busted over the years for actually Photoshopping. Supplement companies and things like that, dropping them, suing them, whatever, because they faked their entire thing. It happens all the time, fam. So let's not forget. This could definitely be happening on the amateur level on anyone you're looking at in the damn hashtags. The point is, if it gets in your brain, it will mentally defeat you. And if it mentally defeats you, it's pretty much game over. So in reality, we're talking about these two massive mistakes that competitors really make, but they're both the same thing. You are comparing yourselves to these two different things, either these stage photos or these Instagram photos or any level, but it all boils down to one thing. You're comparing yourself to people that you deem you will compete against or that you should look like or anything else, and you're getting distracted from the fact that bodybuilding, and again, I'm talking about all divisions, is about being your best. Your own best. You shouldn't look like the rest. You shouldn't aim to copy someone else. You shouldn't try to guess what the judges are going to want to see. You shouldn't do any of that. What you should do, honestly, any of you watching this, make sure you have a coach that knows what they're doing, they can fit you to the criteria of your division, and then go to the damn show, compete, and whatever you place, first, second, third, fifth, last, whatever it is, I don't even know, get your damn feedback. Get your feedback from that judging panel. Hopefully you can get in front of some very high-level judges so you can get some very high-quality feedback, but get in front of that judging panel. And then get the feedback. And they will tell you exactly what needs to work, exactly why you placed the way they did. You know, I do this for all my competitors. This is something I do all for everyone. If I'm at the show, if I'm not, if it's a high-level judge, if it's not, whatever. Anytime one of my competitors competes, I'm personally reaching out to whatever judges were there. And I'm saying, you know what? Hey, what do we need to work on? What do you want us to do? Where do we need to go to get further? I always tell them what the plan is. Maybe this athlete wants to go to nationals. Maybe they're trying for a pro card. Whatever it is, hey, what do we need to improve on? What did you guys see on show day? What did you actually visibly see, not on stage shots, not on this other stuff? What did you see? Can you tell us? And then, every time, it's always good feedback. They'll tell us some good stuff. They'll be like, this was great, this was great, this was great. And then here's some areas to work on. Needs better conditioning. Needs more shoulder development. Needs better posing. Huge one, right? So then you get the feedback, and then you go back to the drawing board. You go train, you go prepare, you get ready, and you go. But you see all these things. You see everything I just talked about. Like getting on stage, finding a show, getting feedback, going again. This is all stuff you gotta do. This is all individual. None of this, you're never gonna get feedback from a judge that tells you, hey, go compare yourself to everybody on Instagram and come back. You won't ever get that feedback. You won't ever get the feedback that says, hey, go look at all the photos from the callouts or whatever, and when you look like them, come back. That's not what they're gonna tell you. Bodybuilding is an individual sport. The things you need to work on, the things you need to prep for are individual to you and only you. And if that's true, then guess what? Your whole prep has to be individual. Everything's got to be custom. Your training, your nutrition, your posing, your presentation, and also the feedback you're going to get from the judges. And so if we know that that is the case, then anytime you take your head out of that headspace, out of the headspace that says, you know what, this is my own journey. I need to wake up and get better. I need to wake up and beat the person I was yesterday. I need to look in the mirror and fucking slaughter that person tomorrow. If you get out of that mindset and you say, now I'm comparing to these stage shots, now I'm looking at these guys, these girls on Instagram, now I'm doing this and that, when I'm there, I'm ready, you've missed the whole fucking mark. You're going to be off the entire time. You're never going to hit the ball out of the park because you won't even be swinging the fucking bat at the damn ball. In reality, the biggest mistake competitors make these days is comparing themselves to competitors they might compete against or people they think they should look like, or comparing themselves just in general to any part of this social media, internet, Instagram, whatever world. Because in reality, when you compare yourself to people online, sure, it's a lot more fast, right? You don't have to wait for the show. You don't have to wait to get out on the stage and see. You don't have to wait for all that. But it's also all fucking bullshit. It's also irrelevant. It's also going to tax your mindset and take you off course for where you actually need to be. If you want to perform at your best, if you want to go to your shows and get that first call out, if you want to go to the show and bring your A game, you focus on being your best competitor. Be your own best competitor. Don't try to look like anyone else. Don't compare to anyone else. Bring your A game with what you know you need, what your coaches tell you that you need, and then go rock that shit. Go own the stage, go get it, go have a good time. Hopefully you do get that first call out. If you got a good coach, you followed the plan, and you didn't tax your mindset, you didn't get distracted, you should get that first call out. You might even win the whole damn show. And then you take the feedback, whether you win, you got second, fifth, last, and you go do it again. Because the journey never ends. Bodybuilding is a journey that never ends. You can always improve, you can always get better, you can always move forward. But if you always compare yourself, if you always look to everybody else on Instagram, if you always check hashtags, if you always look at stage shots, you've already lost, ladies. You've already lost, gentlemen. It's game over. You can't go to the top comparing yourself to people at the fucking bottom. At the end of the day, if you want to do your best, remember, don't compare yourself. Keep your mind right. Bodybuilding is just as much, if not more, a mental journey as it is physically. The weights, the cardio, all that, that's the easy part. The diet's easy. The mindset and having the mentality that is unbreakable and making sure that you can maintain and keep that focus through an entire prep without getting distracted, without losing course, without giving up, without challenging yourself to the point of quitting, that's the hard part. So stop making it harder on yourself by comparing yourself and start focusing on comparing yourself to yourself so that you can come back and win the whole damn show. This is First Callouts. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. I appreciate you watching. Please make sure you share it, you subscribe it, and I'll be back here next Wednesday for another episode of First Callouts. Stay tuned to my channel because this is just one of the awesome series shows I do every week. First Callouts is dedicated towards helping you get that iconic first call out. Coach Rye is out.